Hello, today we're going to talk about Atlanta's political leaders, William B. Hartsfield and Ivan Allen Jr. William Hartsfield was mayor of Atlanta from 1937 to 1961. Went to Atlanta public schools, and he was a self-taught lawyer. He passed the bar exam, and he opened his own law office. And I think that's a big part of who he was. When you grow up somewhere, you go through the school system, you have more of a connection to that place. Even now, I have lived away from Michigan longer than I grew up there, but still, I remember it mostly as home than I do here. So the place you grow up, you have a better connection to, and I think that's why he was such a good mayor for Atlanta, because he grew up there, went through the school system, and basically lived most of his life there. He led the city during the civil rights movement, and he was on the city legislature, I believe, and he actually downsized the Atlanta government, which is a good thing, because too many hands in the cookie jar, things start getting out of hand. During this time, the phrase, the city too busy to hate, and what that stood for is basically they're trying to, between him and Ivan Allen Jr., who we're about to talk to, they're trying to make Atlanta look more industrialized and progressive. And if that was how Atlanta was viewed, then they were too busy doing their own work to hate. They're trying to separate themselves from other northern and southern cities, and we're just trying to show that hate wouldn't be accepted in Atlanta, but working hard would be. And that's what the city too busy to hate actually sort of stood for. The other thing Hartsfield's known for, the big thing he's known for besides getting the city through part of the civil rights movement, was the airport. He was a big promoter of getting the airport here because he saw that it would increase the size of Atlanta and it'd be good for revenue and jobs. So that's why his name is on the airport, part of it, Hartsfield. And that was a big contribution to the city of Atlanta that he did. And that was William B. Hartsfield. All right, the next mayor we're going to talk about is Ivan Allen Jr. He was mayor from 62 to 70, so 2 terms. He was thought of as one of the key reasons why Atlanta got through the civil rights movement as well as it did in the changing climate that it had. He went to Georgia Tech, and he also served in the military. After that, he was in community relations and community affairs, and he dealt with both populations, both white and black. On the first day he actually got into office, he took down all white only and colored only signs on the bathrooms. He also sort of overcame the Jim Crow laws himself, and he went and sat with, on one of his first days, he went and sat with a black attorney, and that was not something you did back then. So he was a pretty good guy. He also came up with the phrase Forward Atlanta, which is why he started bringing sports teams. That's why he's the main reason sports teams came down here to Atlanta. He was trying to industrialize the area, trying to get more people here, and the main thing Forward Atlanta meant was bring new businesses and industries to Atlanta. So Forward Atlanta was his idea. He was trying to make it bigger and better. Hartsfield dealt with the airport. He brought sports here, which made the city boom because you have all those sports teams right there. Also, a couple things that went with that were getting new other types of businesses they wanted were like arts places. You can go downtown and there's a bunch of arts places. We took our kids to the Children's Museum there. The Georgia Sports Hall of Fame, I believe, is there. There's a lot of stuff in Atlanta, and a lot of it stemmed from him, this Forward Atlanta movement. He also received, I want to say this right, when he got out of office, he received the Martin Luther King Jr. Nonviolent Peace Prize, and he received that from Martin Luther King's widow, I believe. So he was a good guy. All right, this has been the Atlanta political leaders, William B. Hartsfield and Ivan Allen Jr. This is a project, so go look at the project thing, instructions that I have up for you, and good luck.